What actually happens in the final 24 to 48 hours of life? If you've never sat with someone in their final hours, almost everything you think you know about dying probably came from a movie, and movies get it wrong almost completely. In movies, someone says something meaningful, closes their eyes, and it's over. In real time, dying is a process. It takes time, it has stages, and when families don't know what these stages are, every single one of them feels like an emergency. I'm Salat. I'm the hospice chaplain. I've been doing this work for 8.5 years, and I've been in the room more times than I can count. So today, I want to walk you through what actually happens the days before, the final hours, and the part of it that most people never hear about. Not to scare you, but the opposite. Because in my experience, what people are actually afraid of isn't death, it's the unknown. And I can take some of that unknown away right now. So let's start with the days before. The first thing you'll notice is sleep. The person starts sleeping more, a lot more. 12 hours, 16 hours, and eventually they're awake only in short windows. And when they are awake, they may not have much to say. Families see this and they panic. They think he's depressed. She's given up. We need to wake them up, get them moving, get them engaged. Please hear me on this. That's not what's happening. The body is running out of energy, and it starts spending what's left very carefully. Sleep isn't the person retreating from you. Sleep is the body conserving. The second thing is food. They stop eating. Then they stop drinking. This one is honestly the hardest thing I watch families go through. Because feeding someone is love. That's how a lot of us were raised, to show care. And when that person you love turns their head away from the food you made for them, it feels like you're letting them starve. You are not. As the body begins shutting down, digestion is one of the first systems to slow. Pushing foods and fluids at this stage doesn't give someone strength. It often causes real discomfort. Nausea, bloating, fluid backing up into the lungs. The kindest thing at this stage is usually small. Ice chips, a sip if they want it, something to moisten their lips and mouth so they're not dry. I know that doesn't feel like enough. I promise you it is. The third thing is a kind of turning inward. Less conversation, less interest in the room. Sometimes they stop responding to things they'd normally react to. This isn't them giving up on you. This is a natural part of the process. People tend to withdraw from the outside world. Now let's talk about the final 24 to 48 hours. Breathing changes. This is usually the one that frightens families the most. The rhythm goes irregular. Fast breaths, then slow ones, then a pause. Sometimes a long pause. 10 seconds, 20 seconds, where you're standing there, certain it's over. Then they begin to breathe again. You may also hear congestion, a rattling sound in the chest or the throat. It's often called a death rattle, and it sounds distressing. Here's what you need to know. The sound comes from a small amount of secretions the person can no longer clear because the muscles that would normally do it have relaxed. It sounds far worse than it is for them. At this stage, the person is typically not aware of it and not distressed by it. If it's happening, tell your hospice team. There are things they can do. repositioning, medication to reduce it. Skin changes, hands and feet get cool. You may see mottling, a bluish or purplish blotchy pattern, usually starting at the feet and the knees and moving inward. That's circulation pulling back to the core to protect vital organs. It's one of the more reliable signs we're getting close. Restlessness. Some people become agitated near the end, pulling at blankets, trying to get up, confused, saying things that are out of character. It's often called terminal restlessness or terminal agitation. It's hard to watch. It can look like suffering, but it's frequently caused by the body's chemistry shifting as organs slow down, not necessarily by pain, and not by anything you did wrong. Call your hospice team if you see this, because it's usually very manageable. And while you wait, keep your voice low and steady. Don't argue. Don't correct. Your calm is more than you think. And then there's rallying. Sometimes in the last days or two, a person who has been barely responsive will suddenly wake up, talk clearly, ask for their favorite food, recognize everyone in the room. Families call me at this point, convinced there's been a turnaround. But I have to tell you gently, usually there hasn't. This happens often enough near the end that we have a word for it. I'm not telling you that to steal the moment from you. I'm telling you so that if it happens, you use it. Say what you need to say, because typically it doesn't last long. Now here's the part I see that a hospice nurse might not spend as much time on. This is my actual job. Dying is not only physical. Very often, people near the end will tell you they've seen someone who already died. A parent, a spouse, sometimes someone they haven't mentioned in 30 years. They may look past you, or reach toward a corner of the room, or start a conversation with someone you can't see. I'm not going to stand here and tell you what that is. I don't know. There are medical explanations, and there are spiritual ones. And people much smarter than I disagree about it. What I can tell you is this: it's common. It's usually calm rather than frightening for the person experiencing it. And in my experience, arguing with someone about it helps no one. If your loved one describes something like this, don't panic. Don't correct them. Just listen. The other thing I see is unfinished business. I've watched people hold on, clearly uncomfortable, clearly ready, until one specific person walked through the door. I've watched people let go within minutes of hearing someone say, "It's okay to go." If someone seems to be holding on and no one can figure out why, it's worth gently asking, is there someone you're waiting for? Is there something you need to say? Sometimes that's the piece that lets them rest. So what do you actually do in that room? Keep talking to them, not just about them, to them. Hearing is believed to be one of the last senses to fade, so assume they can hear you even if there is no response. Touch them, hold a hand, say the things, all of them, and let yourself sit in silence. You don't have to fill it. Here is what I want you to take from this. None of what I just described means something has gone wrong. Every bit of it is the body doing what bodies do at the end of life. If someone you love is going through this right now, you are not doing it wrong. There is no version of this where you do it perfectly. There is just showing up, and showing up is the whole thing. I put out a video every week on exactly this, the questions people are usually too afraid to ask out loud. If that's useful to you, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.